I think besides doing my grandma's tattoo, the most important one was the Andre Gray back piece that I did. When I did this, it was like an educational thing for both of us when we started off with the Muhammad Ali, the Nelson Mandela. I don't think neither of us knew like the magnitude of how the piece was going to end up looking. So we started it, and then we went to the other side and we did Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. And from those bits, even me doing the research to do the designs, I was like, well, shit, that really went down, And yeah, just the way the whole piece came together with the Marcus Garvey, because there was bits, that some people don't even know what happened in history or what they did for black people, as activists and just changing the, lives for black people. And I think for me, that was the most important, and artistically as well, he just gave me complete freedom. And thankfully, he's got a fucking tank-sized back that it was like just a huge canvas. That was so important. And then the world loved it too. So, we got a little bit of backlash. I think it just brought like tattoo culture and history together into something cool. So it's not like you're getting forced to learn something. It's like you see it and you want to learn. And I think that's what, I feel proud that I was part of that.
Amazing.
Oh, so I think when it first started, I think Hector was actually one of my like first Premier League footballers that I did. And I remember he DM'd me because I did his friend Nico, who used to play for Arsenal. And I think he plays for Brentford now. Yeah, when he DM'd me, I was like, I know this is going to be a big deal. And he came and he wanted to get family on the top of his shoulder. And I remember, like, this is when I knew that Hector was like people then, because we was watching Dave Chappelle and we were both literally crying with laughter. We was watching Netflix and like, he laughed at all the same shit I was laughing at. I was like, wow, you really are people, isn't it? Because I just think people don't understand that footballers are genuine people. They have lives, they have sense of humours, and it's not just like all on the pitch and, or all just in a club on a table. Like everyone's got their own personality. And for me, Hector was probably one of the most grounding footballers, nothing had gone to his head. He was just really real and really funny. So after that, I kind of, not my guard dropped. I just felt a lot more comfortable with doing like Premier League footballers. Because I have something they want and I care about what I do, it's not just like it's just not a one-sided thing, I'm putting in my work and then they're treating me like so well as well. The fact that I wasn't too into football, and I never saw them as like, oh, they're just like cool people and, I know what they want to get done and I can do it well and I do the job and we get on because we're both young. I think that's got a lot to do with why maybe they pick me as an artist because, if you're cool with 5 of my friends, you're probably going to be cool with me, and that's kind of how it is. From him, what did we have? Yedlin, I think. Did Yedlin come from? No, Yedlin came from Danny Williams, actually. There's so much art in just like black, being black and, coming originally from Africa that I kind of want to take it back to that. And even with like portraits, like I like to focus on portraits of black people. I draw every day, like, Africans and Cubans and stuff, so that when it comes down to me actually doing the tattoos, I'm going to kill it. Like, I know what tones I need to make that face really glow and not look like flat. So I do, like, my art is a lot based on how I'm going to execute a tattoo. And I find that my purpose is giving people, black people, colored people, great tattoos that I really care about. And they're not just like, someone does roses all day long and then they try to do that portrait. Like, I want to specialize in that portrait. I want to specialize in African arts, but the tattoo version. And yeah, just bringing like education into like the tattoos. That's kind of my thing. So I think like the fact that I do tattoo so many like professional athletes and stuff like that, you get to know like their routines. You get to know that they do have to train from like 7 in the morning till 1 in the afternoon, like every single day. So for me, realizing that all of these athletes, to stay on top of their A game, they have to put in this amount of work. I just realized like, well, for me being an artist, why would I not put in that same amount of work to be the best? If you're always around Premier League players and you see that that's the recipe, how can you expect not to train and be at that level? And I think for me, I was like, cool. If I do train every day, there's no way I can't get better. And I kind of just saw it as like training, like an athlete is literally the only way you're going to get better at anything. And I do find people, they do ask like why they're not like doing the best and stuff like that. But you can only ask yourself how much effort you put in. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be like 10 minutes every day. You could put in like 5 hours of one day or 3 days, but it's like the amount of effort you put in, because you can't lie to yourself. And I think I've kind of learned that you can see the time that's put in, you can see the effort, you can't fake it. And I know especially with art and with tattoos, whether it took 5 hours or 10 hours, I can see the hours put in. And I want people to see my shit and know that I put the work in and I care. So yeah, I feel like I need to train. I can't be around all these athletes and watch them train and be great and me not see myself and want to train harder and be better. So I just always have a pen on me wherever I go. I'm drawing, like, or even I'm just thinking, or maybe I'm focusing on, like, if I'm making videos, just getting B-roll, or if I want to do like a documentary, then I'm shooting that. It's just like almost like a no days off, you know. Even when you're off, it's not really a day off. At least get something just to say I got something. I think for me now, like, as much as I'm doing what I love, it's quite conflicting, because when you're an artist, you do have like 5 different things that you really want to focus on, and you never have enough time to do what it is you want to do. And I think especially with like tattooing, like every tattoo you do is a collab. So it's not like this is what Jessica wants to do. I mean, I get lots of customers that say, do whatever you want to do, but at the end of the day, the tattoo is about the person and they have to wear it forever. So I find myself, you know, half the time I'm doing these collabs with people, and then some of the off time that I have, I'm working on my own art for my own collection, whenever that might be. So I think it's all about balance, you know, and that's what makes it, you know, that's what makes you love it, when you find your balance. Because if you're too much of one thing, then you feel like you're neglecting something else. And right now I do feel a healthy balance of me editing my videos and, you know, doing my tattoos and then doing my drawings, and even just like finding new music. That's like one of my real passions. Like, I'll stay up till 4 o'clock in the morning on like HD mixtapes or all these like new hip hop sites, or even just on SoundCloud, on like Discover Weekly. And when I hear like a new favorite song, like I'll reload it 100 times, and I'm like, cool, that's gonna be the new song for my new video, and that intro there is gonna be what I'm gonna talk over. So like everything I do kind of intertwines back into itself. So it's like I'm never not thinking about something to create, and that's the part I love. Just always just having ideas. And I think the main thing that I would say to other people is, like, you know, if you have an idea, don't let it just like go away. Write it down in your notes, do something on it, like act on it. It's so important, because I mean, most of the geniuses that come out with these great ideas, maybe they were like in their bed and they just had an idea, but they acted on it. So I think with creativity, it's important that when you do think of a piece of artwork, you know, even if just like, oh, I want to do like a Krispy Kreme box and I want to just draw me eating a donut on it. That's what I want to do. I've got the piece of Krispy Kreme card there waiting. I haven't started it, but like it's going to happen. And I think that's the whole point, is have the idea and do it, because you don't know if that's going to be the next like Turner Prize, or do you know what I mean? In the Tate Modern, you don't know how far it could go, but you definitely know it's not going to be shit if you don't do it. So do it!